I find that a healthy reminder of one's mortality is a great way to anchor your life. The way I use it is, I imagine if I were to die tonight, tomorrow, or within the near future, what books would I have been really, really sad that I didn't get to? And then I try to prioritize those books. I do the same for video games and movies. In my surprise, I actually have read a lot of the classics that I feel like people would say are on this list. Because the worst thing you can ever do is watch the 1001 books you have to read before you die. 1001. You can't get to 1001. I can't. If I had more hours in the day and I read twice as fast, then maybe I can't get to 1,000. Ain't nobody get to 1,000. I can't. Plus, that list is also curated. I have my own list, which is what this video is about. I thought it would be fun to kind of talk a little bit about what kind of books I kind of am still wanting to get to and that I need to get to before the Grim Reaper comes and takes my soul. So, here it is, the list of the books that I have to read before I die. When I talk to new readers, I actually advise them not to read the classics. I don't actively advise them to not read the classics. I say, forget about the classics. You have to read what you like, right? Otherwise, you're not gonna keep reading, right? Don't read whatever arbitrary canon someone has figured out that is deemed important or more important than other works. Just read what you want. That being said, my list is super pretentious. Maybe one day I'll make a list about the books I think you should read before I die, which would be very good. That would be a very good list. Let's talk about the books. I'm going to talk about the different books and why I want to read them and why I haven't yet. So the first one is Don Quixote. It's about a knight who chases windmills, I guess, which sounds like a lot of fun. I actually own it, so it's just sitting on my shelf. The reason I haven't gotten to it is it's pretty long. It's over 1,000 pages, 1,200. It's pretty long, and that is a bit of a deterrent. I'm not gonna lie, but I kind of want to see what all the fuss is about. I don't know really what to expect. I don't know the prose style. I don't know if it's within. I've read other similar stories like Les Miserables and Crime and Punishment. Not Crime and Punishment. The other one. The other Russian dude. One Piece. I've read those two, and The Count of Monte Cristo, the long one. So I don't know how it stacks against those, the other 1,000+ pages tomes from the classics, but you know, it is what it is. Number 2 is Middlemarch. The reason I haven't gotten to Middlemarch yet is because, well, it's apparently very complicated. It feels like something I should read. And maybe not me per se. It feels like a book someone should read, and that someone might as well be me. And I don't really know what to expect. I don't really know anything. I actually did start it. I read the first chapter or so, maybe the second chapter, and I thought it was fine. But then, you know, too much time passed and I didn't really pick it up again. And, you know, so I have to start over, I guess. Number 3, and these are not like in any order. I just made a list and put them in order. So number 3 is Moby-Dick. And I actually own this one too. I own a lot of these. I haven't gotten around to it because I know it's about whaling and sailing and it's no fun at all. Even though it is probably a little bit fun. It seems like a book I would enjoy, actually. I don't know, sailing, whaling, having a good time. Also, it's fun to rhyme sailing with whaling. The reason I haven't gotten to it is probably because I know that it has this reputation of being a little bit boring. But you know, having not been forced to read it in school, since I'm not American, I'm probably gonna think I'm gonna have a good time on it. Maybe. We'll be back on that one. The 4th one is Crime and Punishment. I'm actually only missing 100 pages on this one. I have a hot take. My hot take is Tolstoy is better than Dostoevsky. I don't think Dostoevsky is that. I was gonna say he's not that good. He's obviously good, right? I just think he's a little bit. He's not my guy. All right, he's not my favorite Russian author, which is a list. That's actually it's pretty hard. It's a pretty good list. I read Notes from the Underground and The Gambler. Is it the one? And The Gambler. And Crime and Punishment is just It's the whole Dickens thing. When you're paid by the word, you just write a lot of words. And, you know, you could have done with less words. That's all I'm saying. Number 5, The Divine Comedy. This is the most pretentious list of all time. I'm just realizing this right now, right? I've already read The Inferno. By that I mean I I finished it yesterday, right? So I just need 2 more stories in the Divine Comedy. I want to read this because it's so pretentious to say I read the Divine Comedy. I know, I read Dante actually. Look at me. My opinion is worth more than you because I have read fancy books from the 1400s. Yeah, so that's the main reason I want to read that. Number 6 is something by Toni Morrison. I don't really know her style. I know her prose are supposedly very pretty and very good. And as an aspiring writer, I think it would be great to kind of dig into her works. And I don't know if I want to do Beloved or Song of Solomon. It's a little bit of a toss-up. Maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe drop a recommendation if you have any preference whatsoever. Number 7 is something by Donna Tartt. I don't even know if this is pretentious or not. I have no idea what to expect. I don't even know if I'm gonna like it. I don't even know what she writes about, right? I just know she's popular some places on the internet, and that's enough for me to like. I want to be in on it, right? I don't want to go through life and not having read it and be like, I actually read that, and I didn't like it. I can always be a nice contrarian who everybody loves at parties because they start arguments all the time about people's love of books, Love those guys. Number 8 is The Master and Margarita. And Margarita? And Margarita. And it's also a Russian book. Again, probably better than Dostoevsky. I want to read more Russian guy so I can say Dostoevsky is my 20th favorite Russian author. So The Master and Margarita is supposedly very complex in a way. Not like in a prose sense, but in a narrative sense. This is just what I've gathered quickly. I own it. I have it on my Kindle, so bought it for sale. So it's just do it. The reason I haven't read it yet is because, again, it seems like it's a book that demands a lot from you, and you have to be in the mood for a lot of these books, right? The same with Middlemarch, the same with Moby-Dick, the same with Crime and Punishment too, actually. But I'm actually a little bit excited. It sounds like a good old time. Number 9 is Ulysses. I know. It's a pretentious pick. I know. I don't even know why. I know. I don't even know why, really. It seems I kind of want to read it just to be like, it wasn't that hard. I understood everything, even though I didn't. I'll probably just lie. Ulysses is supposedly this big epic thing that's based on the Odyssey, but it's a guy in Dublin, right? And he's gonna get turned into a pig. I'm not sure what the narrative is here, but it could be fun to read the Odyssey and then read Ulysses as kind of a companion piece, maybe? Could it not? Question mark? Is that foreshadowing for what's coming later in this list? Maybe. Is it really foreshadowing when you say it is? Number 10, the Odyssey / the Iliad. Yeah, well, it was foreshadowing. So this is just because Christopher Nolan is making the movie on the Odyssey. And I kind of want to be the most annoying person in the world who reads the original text and complain that it's not as good as the original movie. Because that is who I am in life, apparently. And the Iliad is because I also own that one. So I suppose it's just easier to take both of them. It also feels like the canon of literature starts with those stories. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. It feels like it starts there. The stories. And I kind of know the stories, the Trojan Wars, it's probably fine. It just takes a little bit, it takes some focus to read texts that are so old. Speaking of old, number 11 is the Aeneid. Aeneid by Virgil. And the reason, I'm not gonna lie, I read Dante's Inferno and Virgil's in it. I'm like, maybe I should read something with Virgil to find out why he's such a big deal. He is, after all, a rock star of the burning abyss. I'm probably gonna need a companion piece, maybe someone, an expert telling me what it's all about, holding my hand, guiding me through it. But it's just fun to read. This one is not really a must-read anymore. It's just kind of, this could be fun. It also probably would recontextualize a little bit about the Divine Comedy. Number 12 is The Bell Jar. I'm not really into poetry at all, but it seems like I should be. I'm not into poetry. You just put a lot of poems on your freaking list. The Bell Jar seems like the thing to read. Now we're a little bit more in these would be nice to read, but I don't really have to read them. So here's something about with Steinbeck, right? So I've already read Of Mice and Men, and I really liked it. So I was thinking of reading East of Eden and Grapes of Wrath, or Grapes of Wrath, I should say. One of the two. And I'm probably gonna, I don't know which one I'm gonna go for. I think that would be a fun one to explore. I'm not gonna lie. Number 14 is Hemingway. I need to read Hemingway as well as Steinbeck. I've read, of course, The Old Man and the Sea, but like Mouse and Men, it's kind of short, and to be honest, I don't really get a lot out of it, right? So maybe a little bit longer novel. I'm thinking For Whom the Bell Tolls or A Farewell to Arms. Both of them could be good. Since Hemingway was in the war, I'm actually very curious to A Farewell to Arms. I'm very curious. Also, Hemingway is like notorious for having very, very bare minimum prose. Bare minimum sounds like a great diss. It's not like he doesn't use flowery language. So as an aspiring writer, I really want to study Hemingway a little bit to see if I can gauge something about using prose that are not overly written, so to speak. Kind of use the words as like a tool to tell the narrative instead of this expression of art. Number 15 is Jane Eyre. I have already read Wuthering Heights, and I thought that was a good like gothic story. I thought that was actually really, really inspiring. I think Heathcliff is a great villain in just literary history, I guess. And there's a movie coming out, or is out by the time this video is up probably. But Jane Eyre is I don't really know anything about it. I'm not sure. Is it like Pride and Prejudice? Is it something in that vein? Or is it more like Wuthering Heights, where it's kinda nasty? It's kind of a nasty story. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Alright, after this one, it's gonna be less pretentious, I swear. Number 16 is Paradise Lost. And again, this is just kind of at this point you've read all the canons. At this point you have a solid fundamental of the literary canon in the Western world, and I would be able to feel infinitely superior to everybody else who reads, which is a horrible reason to read at all. But I hope it comes off as a joke. The reason I own this one too, man. I own a lot of these, which is also why I'm kind of ashamed of not having started any of them. I think the reason I haven't gotten to it is because I have not finished the Divine Comedy, and I wanted to do that before the Odyssey, before the Iliad, before the Aeneid, the Aeneid, and so on and so forth, right? Number 17 is The Three Musketeers. Finally, this is a proper book, right? It's swashbuckling, it's great. There are three musketeers, but there's actually four. And it has a lot of connection to modern fantasy, especially if you know the Greatcoats series, which is a great series, also very swashbuckling, which is a great genre. Very niche. If I read that, I would be more inclined to identify other tropes and in fantasy stories about the swashbuckling kind. And also I have read, is it Dumas, right? I have read The Count of Monte Cristo. This one should be more fun, more straightforward. Number 18 is The Hobbit. The Hobbit. And they have been taken to Isengard. I've read Lord of the Rings, of course. Seen the movies, of course. Seen the Hobbit movie, unfortunately. And to be honest, The Hobbit just seems like a little nice, quaint story that I should read. The reason I haven't is I don't really own a copy. Even though one of my friends own it, I can just borrow it from them. I just haven't because you have a lot of things you read at a time, and just like I don't know where to find the time to read all these classic books because a lot of them are just kind of boring. But I think The Hobbit would be great. There's no way. If you like, what are the chances you like Lord of the Rings and not like The Hobbit? Do those people actually exist? I'm not sure. At number 19, we have A Lonesome Dove. Now, this is a story that everyone on BookTube seems to absolutely love, and I have to get to it at some point. It's a big old one. It's Western. I technically like Westerns fine in movies, right? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, such movies, but I'm just not. I haven't really read a Western. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, but everyone who talks about it seems to praise it to the heavens, which is fine. I mean, it is very good. I mean, I want to read some good books, so Lonesome Dove it is. And the last one, number 20, Journey to the West. And the reason Journey to the West is on is I've been playing a lot of Black Myth Wukong lately, man, and I really like the game, and I was curious about another perspective. Again, Eastern perspective, Eastern fantasy, mythology. It's very interesting. The game is really, really rich with details and lore and story. And buy the game. It's a great game, but it's got me curious to read the book, and that is, of course, what good art should do. It should inspire you to be better, and to seek above your own horizon, which is what I'm trying to do here. I'm usually a genre guy who primarily reads horror and fantasy, right? But I'm trying to branch out. I'm trying to get a new horizon, and if I get through all these, it will be a great success. But hey, if I don't, that's fine as well. So go read what you want to read.